Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, so Minecraft. You see the blocks, you think building, maybe some zombies, but it's just become this absolutely massive cultural
It
thing.
really has. It's kind of wild when you think about it.
Totally. We've gathered some really interesting stuff, how it started, why it's so sticky, and, this new movie that just came out, you sent over some great sources, and I'm really keen to dig into what makes this blocky world tick?
It's fascinating, isn't it? Because Minecraft, well, it didn't just entertain people. It sort of fundamentally changed how we think about games, about digital spaces, even creativity online. It's way more than just a game now.
Right. Okay, let's rewind a bit. The very beginning, it was just one person, wasn't it? Marcus Person, Notch, working in Java.
Exactly, Notch. And the first public version people could actually play was May 17th, 2009, an alpha release.
2009. Wow, so what was like the magic ingredient there? What made it different?
Well, a big part was how open he was. It wasn't this secretive big studio thing. He released it early, got feedback, built a community around it almost immediately. That alpha release was like the starting pistol.
And the full release came later.
Yeah, November 2011. But honestly, the hype was huge way before that. Then eventually he handed the reins over to Jens Bergensten, Jeb.
Ah, Jeb. Okay, why the change? Just too much pressure.
Seems like it. As it got bigger and bigger, Notch wanted to step back. Jeb was already involved, so it was a pretty smooth transition, creatively speaking.
And then Microsoft steps in.
Yep, 2014. $2.5 billion, which is just staggering for what started as an indie project.
Seriously, 2.5 billion. It says a lot about what they saw there. More than just a game, right? It had to be the community, the potential.
Absolutely, it's the whole ecosystem.
Yeah.
So for someone maybe just looking in, how do you even describe playing Minecraft? What's the core of it?
Good question. I guess I'd say it's like a giant digital Lego set, but one where you also have to survive. You're dropped into this huge world.
A world that's procedurally generated, which is key, meaning it's basically infinite and different every time you start a new game.
Right, infinite. And you explore, you dig mine, I guess you find stuff, and then you craft things. Tools, weapons, building blocks. Anything, really.
That loop explore, mine, craft, build is incredibly addictive. It blends that survival challenge with just limitless creative potential. It's not always about a specific goal. It's the process.
And that crafting part is pretty deep, isn't it? It's not just point and click.
Not at all. You start simple wood, stone,
Yeah.
but you learn recipes, combine materials, you progress to iron, then maybe diamond, even this super rare stuff called netherite. Each tier takes more effort, but gives you better, more durable gear.
So there's a real sense of progression.
Definitely. And you've only got so much space in your inventory, so you have to be strategic about what you carry. Plus, you can trade with villagers using emeralds, which adds another whole economic layer.
Okay, and it's not just one big samey world. There are different dimensions.
That's right. You start in the overworld. That's the most Earth-like one, with forests, deserts, oceans, and a day-night cycle. That cycle's important because hostile mobs,
The bad guys.
yeah,
Right.
monsters, they mostly come out at night or in dark places like caves. A game day is about 20 minutes, real time.
20 minutes. Okay. And the other dimensions.
Then there's the Nether. It's like this fiery, hellish dimension you access through a portal you build. Super dangerous, but it has unique resources you can't find anywhere else.
Like what kind of resources?
Things like quartz for building and components, glowstone for light, ancient debris to make netherite, and its own set of pretty nasty mobs.
Right. And the third one?
Is the end. It's sort of this void-like place with floating islands. That's where you find the Ender Dragon.
The main boss.
Kind of the final boss, the main progression, yeah. Beating the dragon opens up access to the outer islands of the end, with more things to discover, like end cities and elytra, which let you glide.
Okay, so 3 distinct realms to explore.
Yeah.
And you mentioned different ways to play, different modes.
Exactly. The default is survival mode. That's where you have health, hunger, you need to gather everything yourself, build shelter, fight off mobs. It's the full experience,
Standard video game stuff, sort of.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Then you have creative mode. Infinite resources, you can fly, you can't die. It's purely for building and, well, being creative.
Yeah.
No limits.
Like digital Lego on easy mode.
Kind of, yeah. Then there's hardcore mode. It's like survival, but locked on the hardest difficulty and permadeath. If you die once, your world is deleted.
High stakes.
Very. And finally, adventure mode. This one's a bit different. You can't easily break or place blocks. It's designed for playing on custom maps that other players create, or maybe you're following a story or specific challenges.
Got it. Okay, let's talk mobs. The characters you meet. Not just the player, right? You start as Steve or
These
Alex.
are Alex of the defaults, yeah.
Ah.
But players can create or download basically any skin they want, so you see incredible variety online. But beyond the player, the worlds are full of mobs, mobile entities.
And they come in different flavors.
Broadly, yeah. You've got passive mobs. These are the animals, cows, pigs, sheep, chickens. They're mostly sources of food, wool, leather, stuff like that. And you can breed many of them.
Breed them, like cows with wheat.
Exactly. And camels with cacti. Some are tameable too, like wolves. Give them bones, and they become loyal dogs that fight for you.
Oh, okay.
Cats, too. You find them in villages or swamp huts, tame them with fish. They scare away creepers, which is useful. Donkeys you can tame and put chests on. Breed a donkey and a horse. You get a mule, which can't breed itself. Little details like that.
Huh. Interesting. And ocelots?
Ocelots are found in jungles. They're shy. They used to be how you got cats, but now they're separate. They still scare creepers, though, and they hunt chickens and baby turtles. Unlike tamed cats.
Okay, so the friendly, or at least non-hostile bunch. Then there's the other kind.
The hostile mobs. The ones that make life difficult, especially at night. Your classic zombies.
Right.
And their variants, like husks in deserts that don't burn in sunlight, or drowned underwater, sometimes carrying tridents, skeletons shooting arrows.
Also with variants.
Yep, strays in snowy areas shoot arrows that slow you down, and you have giant spiders, witches throwing potions, and of course, the creeper.
Ah, the creeper, the green, hissing, exploding nightmare.
Pretty much the mascot of Minecraft monsters. Silent until they're right behind you, then boom, destroys blocks, deals massive damage, always stressful.
I bet. Any other standout?
Endermen are creepy. Tall, dark figures that teleport and pick up blocks. Don't look them directly in the eye or they attack. Oh, and they hate water.
Good tip.
Then you have illagers, basically evil villagers. You find vindicators with axes and spellcasting evokers in woodland mansions. Evokers summon these annoying little flying things called vexes.
Woodland Mansions sounds ominous.
They are. Big structures full of danger. Oh, and sometimes you see a baby zombie riding a chicken jockey. It's rare, but memorable.
The chicken jockey. Okay, what about the nether mobs?
The Nether has its own horrors. Ghasts that shoot fireballs, piglins you can trade with if you wear gold but attack otherwise, and hoglins, big, hostile, boar-like things. Though hoglins are scared of warped fungi, which is useful. You can breed them with crimson fungi, though.
Wow, okay. So a whole ecosystem of creatures with
Yeah.
all this stuff. Is there, like, an actual point, a goal?
That's the beauty of it, really. There's no single defined storyline you have to follow. The game is what you make it.
To self-directed goals.
Exactly. But there are common paths people take. First survival, get wood, make a crafting table, tools, find coal, build a basic shelter before nightfall.
Survive the first night.
Right. Then it's usually about upgrading gear. Wood tools to stone, stone to iron, finding diamonds for diamond gear, which is a huge milestone. Then eventually, venturing into the Nether to get materials for netherite gear, the top tier.
Makes sense. What else?
Exploring is huge. Finding villages, temples, shipwrecks, setting up a more permanent base. Maybe automating things with farms, food farms, tree farms, even mob farms for resources and experience points.
Mob farms. Like deliberately spawning monsters to kill them.
Essentially, yeah. Efficient ways to get drops like gunpowder from creepers or bones and arrows from skeletons. Then there's the bigger goals. Making it to the Nether, finding a fortress, getting blaze rods to make Eyes of Ender.
To find the portal to the end.
Exactly. Finding the stronghold, activating the portal, and eventually fighting the Ender Dragon. That's a major achievement for most players.
And after the dragon, is that it?
For some, maybe. But for many, that's when the real game begins. Exploring the Outer End Islands, getting elytra for flying, well, gliding, taking on other bosses like the Wither, building massive complex structures, setting up villager trading halls for easy enchanted books and diamond gear. The endgame is often just about bigger projects and more exploration.
So the goalposts just keep moving based on what you want to do.
Pretty much. Your imagination is the limit.
Which kind of explains how it bled into pop culture so much, doesn't it? It's not just a game you finish, it's a platform.
Absolutely. Think about YouTube and Twitch. Minecraft basically created a whole genre of gaming content. It wasn't just about skill or competition. It was about creativity, storytelling, tutorials, watching people just build amazing things or have funny adventures.
Yeah, you see Let's Plays, building tutorials, mod showcases.
Exactly. And the multiplayer servers foster these huge online communities. Role-playing servers, minigame servers, massive collaborative builds, events like Minecon, now Minecraft Live, became huge community gatherings.
It really showed what indie games could do, didn't it?
Totally. Proved you didn't need a $100 million budget to make a global hit. And it inspired so many other games focused on player freedom, crafting, sandbox elements.
And it even ended up in schools.
Yeah, Minecraft. Education Edition. Teachers use it for everything from teaching coding logic and CAD principles to history simulations and collaborative problem solving. There's even the Block by Block project with the UN, using Minecraft for urban planning and developing communities.
That's incredible, and the references are everywhere.
Oh yeah. Other games nod to it, like Team Fortress 2, Stanley Parable, Smash Bros. South Park did an episode. Deadmau 5 famously wore a creeper head. It became one of the most searched terms on YouTube. Hit 1 trillion views on the platform eventually.
1 trillion. Just wow. And the music parodies?
Captain Sparklez and others, yeah, those became huge viral hits in their own right. It's just permeated culture on so many levels.
Which brings us, inevitably, to the movie, the 2025 A Minecraft Movie. That's a whole new level of cultural impact. You looked into that, right?
I did. Directed by Jared Hess, who did Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh, interesting choice.
Right. And a pretty big cast. Jack Black playing Steve.
Yeah.
Jason Momoa, Danielle Brooks, Emma Myers.
Jack Black as Steve. Okay, I can almost picture that. And it did well.
Apparently, yeah. Budget around $150 million, reportedly grossed over $570 million worldwide. So commercially, a success.
Okay, but what was the story like? How do you make a movie out of blocks?
Well, the descriptions make it sound a bit like Jumanji. Welcome to the jungle, but maybe simpler. A group of humans get sucked into the Minecraft overworld.
Okay, standard pulled into the game trope.
Seems like it.
Mm-hmm.
The focus wasn't really on a super deep plot, more on seeing the game world and its elements brought to life. Sort of an adventure comedy.
And the look. Did they nail the blocky aesthetic? Or was it weird seeing real actors in it?
Mixed reports there. The CGI itself, for the world and the creatures, was apparently quite good. Vibrant, captured the blocky style, updated mob designs. But blending the live actors with that CGI world, some reviews called it an eyesore, saying the green screen effects weren't always convincing. Kind of early 2000s vibes, maybe.
Okay. And the characters. Jack Black as Steve. Did that work?
Seems like Jack Black basically played Jack Black, which, people tend to enjoy. Jason Momoa played a washed-out video game fanatic character described as overly zany, but a highlight for some. The villain was apparently pretty cliché, like an 80s cartoon villain.
So maybe not groundbreaking character work.
Probably not. It sounds like the actor's charisma, especially Black and Momoa, carried a lot of it.
But for the fans, were there lots of nods, Easter eggs?
Oh, tons. Absolutely packed. Things like mentioning the 20-minute day cycle, digging straight down at night to hide, taming a wolf with bones, seeing a rare pink sheep, llamas, mine shafts.
All classic Minecraft things.
Exactly. Monsters burning in daylight, creepers, and even Creeper Farm, the Woodland Mansion with illagers, TNT explosions. They even showed Steve's inventory with items like firework rockets for Elytra, golden carrots, a diamond helmet, even boots of swiftness from Minecraft dungeons.
Okay, so they did their homework for the fans. Any cameos?
Yeah, someone from Mojang Studios, Torfi Franz Olafsson, had a cameo. And Matt Berry apparently voiced a nitwit villager in a post-credits scene.
A nitwit villager, perfect casting, in the post-credits scene itself.
It apparently showed Steve returning home to Alex, the other main player skin, setting up for more, maybe.
Maybe. So what was the final verdict? Love it, hate it, mixed bag?
Very mixed. Some people online, on places like IMDb, loved it, called it fun, entertaining, praised Black and Momoa. Others thought the plot was paper thin, characters underdeveloped. A lot of longtime players seemed to find it enjoyable enough, recognizing it wasn't high art, but appreciated the references and the fun.
So enjoyment maybe depended on expectations.
Probably. And how much you enjoy silliness, that seemed key. There were also funny reports about the cinema experience itself being chaotic, with lots of enthusiastic teens.
I can only imagine. Right, so quite the journey then. Humble Java project, global phenomenon, educational tool, cultural touchstone, and now a blockbuster movie.
It really is remarkable. Its impact is undeniable.
What really stands out to you most about that impact? And does the movie, even being a bit silly and maybe flawed, feel like a natural next step for something this huge?
That's a good question. For me, it's the way it empowered players not just to play, but to create and share. The movie. I guess it's inevitable when something gets this big, right? It solidifies its place in mainstream culture even further.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it's clearly not stopping. You mentioned updates are still happening, like visual improvements.
Right, they're always tweaking, adding things. The game is constantly evolving.
It makes you wonder then, what's Next for Minecraft, where else could it possibly go? More integration into education, new kinds of digital art, something completely unexpected.
Who knows? That's maybe the most exciting part. With a platform this open and a community this creative, the possibilities still feel, well, almost infinite.